Wow, some unbelievable information I need to share with you in this video. I'm going to be talking about stimulus checks and low-income individuals with an annual income under $40,000 each and every year. And yes, that does include fixed income from Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB. Let's get into it right away as we have a lot to cover in this video. But if you haven't done so yet, or if you happen to be new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video so I can keep you updated each and every day with all of this information that is changing very rapidly. I'm doing all the research on your behalf so that you don't need to, and I bring it to you in these short videos each and every day so you can stay tuned with everything going on. So again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for believing in me. I truly do appreciate it. And please remember, I'm here to help out in any way that I can throughout this incredibly confusing and difficult time. All right, thank you so much. Let's get into this right away. All right, so first things first, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, which is some information that was just released this morning. If you're not sitting down, I would highly recommend you might want to take a seat because there is some real information here we need to talk about, and this is getting really serious. All right, so just earlier this morning, the CPI number for the month of November was released. Now, CPI stands for Consumer Price Index. This is a report that actually comes out on inflation on the last month. All right, wow, we know inflation's hot right now, but hold your hands back because it is white hot. Here's what it came in at. 6.8% year over year. This is the highest reading that we've seen since 1982. Almost 40 years ago was the last time we saw inflation this hot. Wow. On a month-over-month basis, it came in at 0.8%. So 0.2% under 1% month over month. This is very, very, very hot inflation. So, as you can see here, no wonder why everybody is struggling so incredibly badly right now when we're seeing inflation rip higher like we are like this. And here's the unfortunate part. According to economists and people that have been out so far this morning since this report have come out, they're saying, well, this is kind of maybe just the start. We're probably going to continue seeing inflation ripping higher like we are right now through at least the first half of 2022 and probably into even the third quarter of 2022. So put your seatbelts on, everybody. This is going to get even worse. So again, I'm not here to instill fear in anybody. I'm here to give you the honest truth and let you know what I'm finding out there according to all my research. This is a really sad situation, right? We're seeing this inflation just ripping people apart right now, and this is a really bad situation. Let me give you some more numbers to actually back this up. Here's what we're finding. Energy alone is up over 33%. Check this out. Gas, like gas we put in our cars, 58% higher since just a year ago. Now across food products, over 6% higher. Now here's the thing with food that's interesting. Some food products are up like 0.3%. Okay, not a big deal. But when we look at other food products, there's a lot of products, meat in particular, chicken, pork, ground beef, things like this. These products are up, like bacon, for example. Some of these products are up anywhere between 10 and 30% on some items alone. So it's the other items, these ones that are up maybe like 0.3%, maybe 0.8%, these little items that are up just a little bit, which is actually skewing the actual percentages across the board because they basically take a basket of all these foods and they put it all together, which is giving us this 6% reading. Well, depending on which products you look at, it's actually significantly higher on a lot of foods that a lot of us consume on a regular basis. Well, not a good situation, right? So, wow, I mean, unbelievable. What's actually interesting is the president was out yesterday talking about this report that was supposed to come out today, which we're talking about right here. And the president said that this is not a actual glimpse of the what's actually happening, like actual reality as to what is going on right now. Really? If it's not an actual representation of what's going on right now, then are we living in a dream? Or I guess I'm a little bit confused as to what he meant by that statement, right? So, kind of interesting. All right, let's quickly talk about another report that came out talking about low-income individuals during this time. This is very interesting because it's actually very much consistent with exactly what I've been calling for here on the channel for many, many months now. Kind of interesting how this whole thing's playing out. So let's remember, We've been talking about this stimulus package, right? The Build Back Better agenda for about 8 months now. We've been talking about it since April when it was originally introduced and talked about by the president way back in April after the last stimulus package, the American Rescue Plan, was signed into law in mid-March. Well, we've been talking about this thing, and there's been a lot of transformation of this stimulus package. It was supposed to be an anti-poverty plan. We've talked about that many, many times now. However, there's been many things that I've been talking about here on the channel, which is, according to the reports, everything that we've seen out there, in accordance with all these stimulus checks that we've seen over the last year and a half, well, almost 2 years now, we've seen that every single time that they send out a stimulus check, it's the low-income people who need it the most, who are the ones that take that money and spend it on the necessities. Right, we've covered this in many videos previously. We don't need to get into all the details again. However, let me get into some new reports that were just out talking about how low income are the ones who really, really need the financial support right now. And again, these numbers are pretty consistent with what I've been talking about right here. I've basically been pounding the table for the last 8 months saying anybody earning under $40,000 needs a stimulus check. They need ongoing payments. They need whatever it needs right now to help them through this time. Right? I mean, if you've been watching my videos for a while now, you know I've been basically drawing the line in the sand at $40,000, saying anybody under 40 grand a year of income, let's help them out. Let's get some money in their pockets. Let's get some money in their bank accounts. Let's get them some stimulus checks, survival checks, whatever you want to call it. I've been basically calling on Congress to do this for a very long time with my letters, my emails, my phone calls, all of it. Anyway, let's get into the report here because this is interesting. According to a new Gallup poll, they're drawing a line at $40,000. Interesting. Here's what we're finding. This Gallup poll is finding that 71% of low-income households or individuals with an income under, you called it, $40,000, are experiencing financial hardship with all of this massive inflation. So 71%, in other words, 71 out of every 100 people you see walking around out there with an income under $40,000, which, let's just be real, the vast majority of the people here in this community are probably under $40,000 of income. So you could probably look at, pretty much 71 out of every 100 people right here on the channel are experiencing financial hardship. But let's be real though. I would have to say that I would say probably 90 to 95% of the people here on this channel probably have an income under $40,000. But the vast majority of the people, okay, so here's what we're finding. According to this Gallup poll, 71% of people earning under $40,000, and remember, the income could be from anything, Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, RRB, or maybe just low income. Doesn't really matter. Just $40,000 of income are experiencing financial hardship. Meanwhile, only 29% of individuals with an income over $100,000 are actually experiencing financial hardship right now as a result of all this inflation. So once again, can you see what I'm saying here? The numbers do not lie, right? 71%. So the vast majority of people with an income under $40,000 need financial support. This is exactly what we've been calling on for so long right now. Here's the unfortunate part about all this though. Every time that we talk about something like this, or anytime a poll comes out, or people in Congress talk about it, they always lead to the Build Back Better agenda. That's the stimulus package that is in the Senate right now. Okay, we know that this package is about $2 trillion of spending. However, they continue to lean on the package and say, this is the package we need to pass right away because it's going to help out all of these lower income people with all this inflation and everything going on right now. It's going to help ease prices and help them lower their monthly out-of-pocket expenses. Okay, sure, but let me ask you this in this community. According to this Build Back Better plan, again, you pretty much know everything about it because we've talked about it here on the channel almost every single day. We talk about some updates on the stimulus package. What in this stimulus package is going to help you? Let me just answer that question for you. Nothing. Nothing is in this package that's going to help you unless you have kids that are aged 17 or younger and you're getting the monthly child tax credit payments. Other than that, there is not much in this package. I know that they continue to try to sell us on this package saying it's going to help everybody that's low income. No, it's not. No, it's not. I've gone through the package. We've looked at everything. There's a little bit of money in there for like housing vouchers, Section 8 for low-income people there. There's a little bit of a Medicare expansion. There's a little bit of things in there for low-income people, but for the vast majority of people, especially anybody who doesn't have a kid being able, or a child who's able to claim on the child tax credit payments, there's not much in this package. However, remember back in the day when this package originally was being introduced, there were over 80 members of Congress calling on, yep, you called it, a $2,000 stimulus check plus monthly recurring payments for low-income people. Well, guess what? Guess what got dropped from the bill? Yep, you called it, stimulus checks. So this is what's so incredibly frustrating about this. We're seeing all of these reports that are coming out right now showing that the low-income people under 40 grand a year are being just absolutely crushed right now by inflation. But yet, Congress seems to act like, oh, the Build Back Better agenda is going to be the answer for all the problems. You're right, it is going to help some people, about 38 million households and families who have kids under the age 17. But again, I continue to come back to this all the time saying, what about the seniors? What about the elderly? What about people with disabilities? What about just straight up low income people who maybe don't have kids, who maybe are not disabled, and who maybe are not elderly? They're just low income. What about these people? Do we just act like we don't care and just, oh, well, whatever? No, this is so ridiculous. So anyway, as you can probably tell, I'm maybe a little bit fired up today because this inflation is just eating people alive right now. This is not okay, the situation that we are currently dealing with. Now, here's the thing. We've known that this inflation is going to be bad, right? We knew that this report today was coming out, that was going to be coming out earlier today, was going to be a bad one. Well, we've got confirmation here. I'm interested to see what people in Congress are going to say today, and I'm interested to see what the president would have to say. Honestly, I have not seen the president speak yet today. Maybe he's already been out. Honestly, I haven't seen him yet, but I'm kind of curious to see what President Biden will say about all this. I'm guessing it's going to be some kind of deflection saying, oh, we knew it was going to be bad, but don't worry, this isn't a reflection of the real life of what's actually really going on. Sorry, newsflash. If you ever look at anybody who's low income, they're really getting hammered right now, and it is not an okay situation, which is what's going to bring me right back to what I've been calling on for so many months now. Not only myself, but other people here on YouTube, other guys here that talk about this same stuff, have pretty much been pointing to the same thing. Low income people need stimulus checks. They need recurring payments. They need something right now to help them through this time. It's not the higher income people. They're fine. We just saw this from the Gallup poll that I just talked about. Only 29% of people earning over 100 grand a year are experiencing financial hardship. That's not very many people. If somebody's earning 100 grand a year, I'm pretty sure they can figure out how to get by. You know what I mean? They've figured out how to earn 100,000. I'm pretty sure they can figure out how to get by for a little bit longer, right? They are not the ones we're concerned about. It's the people who are lower income that we really need to focus on. Don't get me wrong. Some higher income people, yeah, they're struggling right now. Everybody struggles sometimes, right? But it's the lower income people that we really need to focus on. So what else do we need to do to get through the Congress to make them realize that we finally need to issue some support for the lower income? I mean, what else can we possibly do? I've made the phone calls. I've sent the emails. I've sent the letters. I've sent so many letters. In fact, I have a stack of letters sitting right over here. We've read them all to you. We've sent them out to Congress time and time again. So, man, it's just so frustrating to see this, that so many of you right here in this community continue to just get crushed by this. And it seems like Congress doesn't really care. You know what I mean? And I see this down in the comments section literally every single day. Congress doesn't care about us. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be the one to sit here and confirm that, but based on their actions and acting like, we just need to pass the Build Back Better agenda. I've looked through the Build Back Better agenda. I'm sorry, but there's not much in there for low-income people unless they have kids. If you have a kid, hey, it's got a lot of stuff in there for you. It's got some pretty good money in there. It's got childcare expansion, free childcare, free schooling, all this kind of stuff. There's some good stuff in there for anybody who has kids under 17. There's a lot of good stuff in there. But for the elderly, for the seniors, for the people with disabilities, there's just not much, which is why we continue coming back so much, calling on Congress to do something. So, I don't know. This inflation report today just kind of really stroke a weird tone in me today because I just feel for everybody in this community, and I feel like Congress has the keys, they have the answers, and they have the solution to what everybody needs right now, but yet apparently they're just holding the keys in their pocket rather than putting them into the secret door to open it up, which will flood everybody with cash, right? And of course, there's going to be people out there that say, yeah, if you give everybody money, it's just going to lead to more inflation. Okay, I guess we could argue that back and forth all day long, but there's a difference between pumping trillions of dollars into the system versus just spending $100 billion to help out the low income. There's a huge difference between $100 billion and maybe $2 or $3 or $4 trillion, right? Huge difference. So there's a very big difference between that. So anyway, the inflation stuff going on, this new Gallup poll, all of these numbers in regards to the real inflation that's actually going on out there, it's a big deal. There's a lot of big stuff going on. So anyway, I wanted to bring it all out for you in this video, kind of lay it all out. And again, I apologize if I seem a little bit frustrated today. You know what? I am, because I'm looking out for everybody here, and it just annoys me to see that everybody is hurting so bad. We've literally been begging for support for months and months and months, and it's apparently just falling on people who just decide to not listen to us. So I guess when we ask for support and we don't get it, it gets to be a little bit old after a while. So anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. If you didn't see that video from this morning, I'd say go back and check that out, especially if you are a Social Security beneficiary. There's some pretty good stuff in there as we talk about what Bernie Sanders wants to do as far as his plan to reform Social Security and ultimately raise benefits for millions of beneficiaries. Check that out. I bring my wife in that video earlier today. She does some reading for us. It's only a couple minutes of reading, but she reads it right off of Bernie Sanders' website talking about Social Security. Go back and check that video out. It's the last one that I put up just a few hours ago. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're having a nice day. Please remember, I'm here for you as your one and only daily advocate. I'm right here with you every single day. I'm right by your side. I'm right in the trenches with you. Seriously, we're all in this. We've got to stick together through this. It is us against Congress. Who's going to come out? You know what I mean? Seriously, unbelievable. Anyway, please remember, I'm here for you every single day in any way that I possibly can be. Subscribe down below. Share this video with your friends, family, and social media. I'm doing all the research so that you don't need to. I'm watching all this stuff very, very closely. So please enjoy your day. Stay safe. Stay warm. Do whatever you possibly can to protect every last penny that you have. We need it right now. So I'm going to keep doing whatever I can to get additional relief for everybody in this community and low income as a whole, seniors, people with disabilities, pretty much anybody we can, right? So again, thanks so much for believing in me. I really do appreciate it. Enjoy your day. I'll catch you again later in the next one.